So I want to look at a couple of options for shoulder stand using props. Come on, let's have a go. Firstly, I'm going to use trusty old wall here. It's a great resource, a great prop to use in a shoulder stand, particularly if you struggle to get into plow pose, halasana. And then secondly, if you're wanting to try this one, grab a blanket that you can fold up so that we can prop the neck a little bit in order to release or reduce the compression through the neck. I'm going to come nice and close to the wall, basically into Viparita Karani, legs up the wall, one hip on the floor, and one hip is actually touching the wall here, so that when I come up, I'm really nice and close. And heels are onto the wall. I can think about that setting up just like I would usually do into shoulder stand. When I come in, I'm not going to turn my head to look at the camera at all, so just be aware of that. I'm going to get the hair out of the way. Shoulder blades will come and squeeze towards each other. Palms are coming down, and then we can actually walk our heels down the wall to a point where we can press them then into the wall, and this will help us lift the pelvis up. I'm going to immediately take those hands to the pelvis and walk the heels back up, and then I can just make sure that the chin has not dropped towards the chest, that the chin is a little bit lifted, and that the chest is actually rising up towards the chin. And if you're feeling really good there, you can start to lift the feet off, maybe there, or if you're feeling even better, you can lift so that the heels are in line with the hips, but there's no pressure to. If it's more of that half pike position, that's also okay. If you want to leave your heels at the wall today and just work with pressing up, that's also okay. To come on out, it's the same way you came in. Pelvis will come down, and then you can walk it to one side and hang out there for just as long as you need to before coming up. So here I have my blanket, and I've got it into one fold already, and then we're going to take it basically into another fold. So we've got quite a nice broad base, and then one more time, if that's okay for you, just to have a little extra height. I mean, you could work with it on that lower height if this is too much, but I think it's probably better to have a bit more height for the neck than less. We want this broad base because we're actually going to settle our shoulders onto there, and we're going to allow the head to come off of the blanket in order to manufacture a bit of height between the shoulders and the neck and potentially reduce that compression. So it's a little bit of trial and error. I'm going to get to the top of the folded blankets, top edge of the folded blankets, around about the top edge of my shoulders. We squeeze our shoulder blades towards each other, palms will come down, knees are going to come in. You can come then back into halasana plow pose by taking the feet overhead, toes coming down, hands will come then to the pelvis. It's important again to squeeze the elbows in, and then maybe the feet will rise up from there. And this is why having the wall as a resource for you is really important, because that is a long way down. That's a big forward fold for a lot of people. And then of course, we've come up and we've got that broad flat base, that little bit of extra height, supporting the shoulders, supporting the elbows, and the neck might feel a little bit more space there. And if you really feel like you get compressed through the neck, this is an excellent prop to use. Again, anywhere there, the pelvis can push forward, it can come more into a half pike, whatever feels good for you. Hold as long as you'd like. And then it's the same way coming out though, the feet come and drop back over the head into halasana. Palms can come down, and that helps us to very slowly come out. Really take your time coming out, particularly as we are transferring that blood pressure, blood volume. All right. Remember that after this, we do need to open up the chest a little bit into perhaps a chest opener or a back bend. Thanks so much for exploring these two resources, these two props that we've been looking at today for shoulder stand, the wall, and a blanket. And they're really helpful. I hope you've learned something from it. Hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe to all of those things that help us get out into the community.